this is Chris Fisher. I'm one of the meteorologists at NWS Wakefield. And, like I said, this is kind of a two-step process here. I'm going to go through a brief presentation, just kind of giving you an introduction to NWS Chat, and then Mike will do a quick little walkthrough, a little live demo of it. So I guess, first of all, who uses NWS Chat? Besides us, you have our emergency management, media, also members of the military, education, law enforcement, the FAA, and also other NWS offices such as the River Forecast Center, Storm Prediction Center, National Hurricane Center, etc. And Mike will walk you through this in a little bit, but it's relatively easy to sign up for. You just go to nwschat.weather.gov and request a new account. There is a very brief and simple required new user training. It only takes a few minutes. You will have to keep your password current. They ask you to change it about every 180 days, and then there is a mandatory refresher training once per year. But once again, it's very simple. Only takes a few minutes. And it's just more or less walking you through the latest policies that they have. So why should you use NWS Chat? The basic simple reason is it's the easiest place to have live collaboration with us. In addition to seeing the watch and warning information and the storm reports scrolling across, it's also a good place to find out what we're thinking. We'll get in there and put down some of our thoughts in real time as an event is unfolding. And it's a nice quick way for both our media and emergency management partners to relay storm reports to us, ask us any questions. It's a very useful tool. So I'm going to go through a few examples here of what I was talking about here. So in this example is from a tornado outbreak that we had earlier this year, and so you can kind of see, we're going through and we're issuing the warnings, and they show up in the chat, and then 6:23. We mentioned kind of our thought process. So we typed in, we went considerable for the tornado warning near Conway, North Carolina, based on impressive debris signature picked up on radar, similar to what we saw earlier in Bertie County. And so this is a great way for not only the emergency managers to know, kind of what we're seeing, but, for those in the media that we know that you're breaking into coverage and kind of trying to keep an eye on things. So, this lets you quickly kind of look through and see what we're thinking as well, to help you better communicate with your viewers on, why warnings are being issued, maybe why they're not, et cetera. So, here we're just showing, some of the storm reports that you can see when you're logged in. Here in in addition to the storm report, an emergency manager gave us a report as well. He typed it in and said, the wind near the HRBT was gusting to 63 knots, 47 knots sustained. And then as you go further down, another storm report of a couple of injuries with a tornado. So a lot of collaboration there. And then this example here is not specifically from our office. It's from the Lake Charles office, but it's a good example of kind of the weather service and the media kind of chatting with each other on this particular event. So in this particular case, the Weather Service was typing in that they, tornado debris signature was seen on radar, so they went with radar confirmed. They're also relaying some of the social media reports that they were seeing. One of the members of the media asked, any thoughts on when the EWW will come out, which is an enhanced wind warning with a tropical event. The Weather Service responded back saying we're evaluating that as the eye wall moves closer to shore. And so, it's NWS Chat works great for us being able to communicate back and forth with all of our different partners. One of the, let's see here in our next example here, this is just more of just our, again, this is a different office, but media and the Weather Service kind of chatting back and forth. One of the things that's important to mention is our primary mission is still going to be to get the warning out as quickly as possible. So you may or may not, we're certainly not going to long in advance say we're definitely going to issue a tornado warning on this. But what you may see from us is we would type in there, starting the process of preparing a warning for for such and such county based on what we're seeing. The warning will be out in a minute or two. And so, that type of information could be helpful, for you, especially if you're in the media or you're an EM. It gives you that extra minute or two to kind of brace for the warning that's coming. So, so that's just a real quick, just a real quick real quick example of NWS Chat. And now I believe Mike is, I'll kick it back over to you here, and you're going to just kind of quickly walk through a little live demo here.
All right, great. Thank you, Chris, for that. We had a question real quick from Gary. Do we have a chat, a TTX hookup for NWS Chat? This is actually just going to be a web interface. So that's something that we would have solely on this venue, unfortunately. So that's kind of the domain in which we'd be presenting this. Let me walk you through this whole process with respect to NWS Chat and getting this set up. This is the website that Chris was talking about, nwschat.weather.gov. You would sign up through this interface right here. Signing up would be right here at the request NWS Chat, and our managers, so Mike Dutter, Jeff, and Eric, are going to be the gatekeepers for this. So you would be communicating with them. You'd go through and you'd agree to the terms. You can read the terms through here. Then you would sign up through this. Now, as Chris mentioned, there are all sorts of different venues that you would qualify in here to have a chat account. So go ahead and just pick the one that accounts for you, and then put your first and last in there, as well as your information as you go through. We would get back in touch with you, and from that point, you would have the account. Once you have the account, I'll go ahead and log in as myself. You have this screen here. From that point, we do have a Java plugin, basic, we call it a Jetty client, which is a little bit lower tech, which if you have resources issue on your machine, certainly that's something that you can use. I'm going to demo the NWS Chat Live, which is the interface that you'd most likely be using. So I'll go ahead and log in as myself. And what you get here at this point is you get this whole display. All of your chats are going to be down here on the bottom, and you'd basically be able to join in and add as many chats as you would like at that point. Now, obviously, depending upon your area, certainly if you're in North Carolina, you'd want to add the Raleigh forecast area. Our colleagues down in Morehead City, even in the Wilmington, if you'd like. My setup is I kind of have all the offices around us as well as some others. I will say right at the top here, Firefox or Chrome typically perform best with this. The newest version of Internet Explorer is okay. If you have a really old version like 6 or 7, it can be kind of buggy, so just beware of that. Other issue, the national centers, like I have WPC Chat and the RFC Chat, you are not going to be able to get into these. These are going to be more, these are going to be internal only. So they're going to be keeping, they wouldn't be able to access that from the public. But basically the interface from there is you'd be able to go in through this actions menu and you'd be able to join a group chat, which you can do that manually from here. If you don't know where you're looking, you just go into this chat rooms section here on the bottom, and these are all of the chat rooms you'd be able to join. So you can go ahead, and I'll just pick one of these just to look at it. We'll just click this one for this case. This is the FCC. This is the Atlanta DSS chat. So this would be the room name you would have there. This chat handle is how you would be seen in the chat room. So it would be, in my case, listed as NWS-my name. If you want to change this to whatever your interface would be, in case of media, it'd be media-your.name. So you could do it that way. Certainly whatever you're most comfortable being called or being referred to would be in your handle. Something descriptive for our purposes would be great. So where you're affiliated, your organization first, and then your first and last. Bookmark, at that point, this would be saving for later use, so you wouldn't have to come in and do this every time. It would just be saved for you. If you wanted to just anonymously monitor, this is something that you can do. However, bear in mind that this is something that you would not be able to contribute to that particular chat room. You would just be reading. And then lastly, auto join is making sure that you would automatically be put into that chat room each and every time you log in to this. In terms of logging in via firewall issues, this should go through what's called port 80, so you should not have any issue with logging into this. If you do, just contact us and we can work with you offline. There shouldn't be any issues with actually accessing this. Now let me go into our individual chat room. Number one, you can see this map interface here. You can set this up in any number of ways with the layer control, which is here on the far right. And you can set up, water vapor imagery, East Coast, goes East Coast visible, which I've got here, goes IR, which you can do there. Any number of the precipitation channels. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see it. And then you can add any kinds of overlays that you would like per your desires there. Once you have what you like, you can use this star to bookmark them, so you don't have to actually go through the rigmarole of putting all of that back together again. Now you can see in here, as we zoom in a little bit, you can go in and actually click on each individual warning. So you can see we have a flood warning ongoing for the Appomattox at Metellica. So you can click this link here and you can get detailed information about that particular warning. So you can get the text data from there. You can get a Google Map interface, all the way through. You can get all that information. This leads us to the bot. The bot is, we call NWS bot. This is simply going to spit out every single text product that we have available, we make available to you for every warning that we issue. So we have a flood warning that was put out, another flood warning that was put out for our forecast, our flood forecast points. So Metellica and Sabril are here. Our area forecast discussion is here, so you can go ahead and just click that. And you can go ahead and read our forecast discussion. So this is our update that you can read our forecast discussion. We also have a number of products that go in through here that you can read. Now, if you don't want to look at all of that and you want to just see what we're chatting about, you can click this, the hide bot, which will just go back to our overnight shift, which just provided a quick quick and dirty summary, which we'll try to do in the morning and at the end of each shift, just to let people know what we're looking at and what we're keeping an eye on. This is something just to kind of get in touch with you all to let you know what we're thinking about and what we're looking at. Now, in terms of actually having sound commands, like a sound heads up, we have this menu item up here where you can actually mute sounds, which you just heard there, or you can actually have sounds that are enabled. So you can basically have all of our warnings when we have a message with a tornado warning mentioned, it'll give you the beep tones. If you have a message with your name in it, you can get a sound, and you can actually customize these with a couple of preset sounds. So you can have these that'll actually alert you to when there's some activity in the chat room. So these are good ways to actually get in touch with us. And we were talking, to kind of circle back with what Jess was talking about. Jess had to run, but what Jess was talking about with kind of getting our thoughts before the event or kind of keeping us in the loop. This is something where you could kind of get into our chat room and chat with us before the event starts and kind of get our feeling for how the event is going, what we're expecting to occur, any changes that we have in mind. So this is a good way to kind of keep avenues of communication open and talk with us during the event. Now, certainly you can chat with us with all of our usual platforms and social media and email and picking up the phone and calling. But this is a good, quick way to get in touch with us and chat with us in real time and get information that's actionable within the scope of the event in real time. So that's really just about it. I don't want to go too far into the weeds with this. You can change the message color with any of this. You can change the background color in here with this. Now, incidentally, once you have all of your chat rooms, if you wanted to go into the chat room bookmarks section, you would just be able to just check this. And if you wanted to change your chat handle, you could just go in here and change your chat handle. So you can see I have my information as NWS AKQ, so I can identify to everyone that I'm here in Wakefield, just to kind of give that information out there. So if you wanted to change a previously saved handle, that's how you would do that. So I don't want to belabor the point. We're right about at the end of our time.